Okay, this is the organic chemistry question number 2 from the September 2021 trial paper for chemistry. This is the one that looks at the physical properties of different compounds. So it says compounds A, B, and C are used to investigate a factor which influences the boiling point of organic compounds. The results of the investigation are given in the table below. So we've got butan 1-ol, butan 2-ol, and 2-methyl propan 2-ol, and as you can see, the boiling point is decreasing as we go from A to B to C, 117, 182. Now, this question I have a bit of an issue with. It says, is this a fair investigation? Choose from yes or no. And I'm going to tell you that the memo says no, because A and B are positional isomers, but B and C are chain isomers, okay? They're saying the reason they're saying this is not a fair test is because there are two things to be considered here, okay? In A and B, if you look at A and B, we will have a 4-carbon like this with a hydroxyl group on the end. This is what A is going to look like. Okay, and then if we look at, this is A, if we look at B, B is also going to be the 4 carbons like this, but we are going to put the hydroxyl group on the second carbon. Okay, so if we have a look, these two have the same chain length, okay, and they have the same molecular mass. And the only thing we've done between A and B is move the hydroxyl group. Now, if we look at compound C, it's 2-methyl propan 2-ol. So that means the longest chain is 3 carbons. The hydroxyl group is on the second carbon. And on the second carbon, we also have a methyl group. Okay, so there is my 2-methyl 2-propan 2-ol. Okay. And this is compound C. So the reason the memo says that this is not a fair test is that here we just moved the hydroxyl group between A and B, but when we went to C, we added a methyl group. So what they're saying is you can compare A and B directly because all you've done is moved the methyl group. Am I saying the methyl group? You've moved the hydroxyl group on the same length chain between A and B. But if you look between B and C, what you've done is you've shortened the chain, but you've kept the hydroxyl group on carbon number 2. So it says no, this is not a fair test because compounds A and B and C are positional isomers and B and C are chain isomers. But I'm kind of like, don't really agree with the memo, but it's fine. I would say this is a primary alcohol, this is a secondary alcohol, this is a tertiary alcohol, all with the same molecular mass. Okay, so there is an argument for this to say, yes, we can compare these because they've got the same molecular mass, they've got the same functional group, okay, they've got the same number of carbons. So to me, there is an argument for using these three in an experiment together. But the answer says no, it's not a fair test because you've got too many things going on. So I'm just telling you what the memo says. But according to me, there is merit in comparing them because you're going primary, secondary, tertiary alcohol, same functional group, same number of carbons, same molecular mass. You're just checking their boiling points. And in fact, one of the past paper questions from June or something actually uses exactly this for you to guess a boiling point. They give you like 6 compounds and then they use this, a primary, secondary, and a tertiary alcohol to guess the boiling point. So I don't like that they've got one story in the one exam paper, another story in the other exam paper. But the party line is no, because they're not all the same kind of isomers. Okay, now it says to you, fully explain the difference in boiling points between B and C. So B and C are these two guys over here, and what is similar and what is different. Okay, so if you can see, first of all, you have to notice that the boiling point of B is higher than the boiling point of C. So if B has a higher boiling point than C, it means B must have stronger intermolecular forces. Okay, and what is causing the stronger intermolecular forces in B? Both of these have hydrogen bonding because they've both got a hydroxyl group, but B has a longer straight chain, and that means if you have a longer straight chain, you have a larger surface area, okay, a larger surface area, which means you have stronger London forces, or if you want to call them van der Waal forces, or the dispersion forces, whatever you want to call them, those types of forces, they are stronger. Therefore, you need more energy to overcome the stronger forces. Be specific. Okay, you need more energy to overcome the stronger forces in B, which means B has a higher boiling point. Okay, so you must mention what is the type of the forces, which one has the stronger forces. Then you must say that the one with the stronger forces requires more energy to overcome the forces of attraction, which increases the boiling point. So check for all 3 marks. You've named the forces, you've said why the forces are different, you've said specifically which one's forces are stronger, you've described how much energy is needed to overcome them, and finally then you will be fine. Okay, so who is a positional isomer? What is a positional isomer? When you move the functional group somewhere. Okay, so A and B are positional isomers because we moved the functional group. And then what is a oh wait, I've missed something. Yes, it says define the term positional isomer. So it says compounds with the same molecular formula but different positions of the side chains, the substituents or functional groups on the parent chain. Look at how much is underlined here. If you leave out any one of these words that are underlined, you will lose a mark, which means you have to actually write side chain / substituents / functional groups. If you do not, you will lose the mark. This is not like some of the physics definitions when sometimes like when it says there's like isolated system or something, and then there's a slash and there's another word for isolated system. This is not like that. You have to put all 3 of these words, otherwise you are not going to get your mark. Okay, so it is the same molecular formula but different positions of the side chains, substituents or functional groups on the parent chain. So positional isomers, A and B, but1-ol and but2-ol. And then it says which one is the tertiary alcohol. Well, the tertiary alcohol is C, because if you have a look here, we want to look at the hydroxyl group. Okay, here is the hydroxyl group in C. And the reason why this is a tertiary alcohol is because the carbon, yes, the carbon that the functional group is bonded to, which is the hydroxyl group, the carbon that the OH group is bonded to. Note it's not what the hydroxyl group is bonded to. It is that the carbon that the hydroxyl group is bonded to 3 other carbons. So you need to look at the functional group, yes, which we've just looked at. And then you look at the carbon that the functional group is bonded to. And it is bonded to 1, 2, 3 other carbons. So that is why C is the tertiary alcohol, because the carbon that the hydroxyl group is bonded to 3 other carbons. Okay, and now we come to the last part of the question. It says the graph below represents the relationship between vapor pressure and temperature for compound A, butan-1-ol. And if you look on this graph, they've marked 117 and they've marked X. Okay, so what is 117 in degrees C in relation to butan-1-ol? It is its boiling point. Okay, and then what is on the other axis? The vapor pressure. Do you know a definition that says, yes, the boiling point of a compound is the temperature at which the vapor pressure equals atmospheric pressure. So what is the value of X? X must be atmospheric pressure, and then they will accept any answer like 1 atmosphere or 78 millimeters of mercury. But what is the best one to do? The best one to do is to go to the back of your data sheet and check the thing there in pascals. There's a thing in pascals. This actually says kPa. So technically you should write your answer in kPa, which is 101,3 kPa. On your data sheet, I think it's written as 1,01 times 10 to the 5 pascals, which is the same as 101,3 times 10 to the 5. These two are the same. We've just moved it from pascals to kilopascals. But basically they're looking for an answer that indicates that you know the boiling point is when the vapor pressure equals the atmospheric pressure. Now it says, redraw the graph above in the answer book. On the same set of axes, sketch the curve that will be obtained for compound C. Indicate the relevant boiling point for compound C on the graph. Well, compound C's boiling point is 82. So when you sketch the graph, you're going to come here and you're going to make a mark, and you're going to make a mark at 82. Now the boiling point is the temperature at which the vapor pressure equals atmospheric pressure. So once you've marked the 82, you know that the other curve is going to be above this curve, but it must pass through that line from point A. Okay, it must pass through the atmospheric pressure line, because this is the atmospheric pressure line, okay, at the temperature of 82, and it must not start in the same place as A, because at this, whatever this lower temperature is here, it will have 2-methyl propan 2-ol will have a higher vapor pressure than compound A, because at all temperatures this one has got the weaker intermolecular forces and will always have the higher vapor pressure as a result. So it is a line that goes above the other curve, but it must pass through atmospheric pressure at the temperature of 82.